Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda, and in this important video, I'm going to talk to you about two things. First, the latest update in terms of what's going on in DC, and number two, I'll talk to you about what the president just said about Amazon and the postal service. The president said the post office is losing a fortune due to Amazon, $3 to $4 on average per package, and he said let the companies pay, let these companies make up the difference as opposed to the consumer. So let's jump right in. This was just reported by Jake Sherman at Politico. Now remember, the Democratic National Convention is this week, Monday through Thursday, and the Republican National Convention is next week, Monday through Thursday. So remember, I said in one of my previous videos that norms are going to be broken right, left, and center. Well, it's going to happen again. The president is going to be accepting the nomination from the Republican National Party, and there's going to be a fireworks display at the Washington Monument at 11:30 p.m. next Thursday, and that's going to be the night that the president will give his convention speech, his acceptance speech from the White House. It's never been done before, a convention acceptance speech from the White House, and so there are many firsts in the environment that we live in right now. Now, also in other updates, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, I've already covered this in a previous video, has called for a House vote this Saturday after the Democratic National Convention. Now, that vote is on the Postal Service, but there could be some talk of stimulus negotiations. We'll wait and see what happens. Also, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, this is important, she has extended proxy voting until the 2nd of October. Now, this was reported by Jake Sherman at Politico, so I want to give credit where it's due. So again, proxy voting has been extended till October 2nd. Now, what does this actually mean? Proxy voting is a form of voting whereby a member or a decision-making body can delegate his or her voting power to a representative to enable a vote in absence. So if something significant happens in the next few weeks, then there could be proxy voting. So this, I believe they're setting up the stage for definitely the next showdown that is coming, the next major deadline, which is the potential shutdown of the government unless there is further funding, and that's going to happen in the end of September. So this proxy vote could be related to that. Also, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi there's another announcement and you'll see that announcement on your screen right here. Members are advised that the House is expected to meet on Saturday, August 22nd, which is this Saturday, to consider legislation related to the post office. On Saturday, the House will meet at 10 a.m. for legislative business, with first votes expected as early as 11 a.m. I can tell you that the second half of this week is going to be extremely, extremely interesting. The next 3 or 4 days, the Democrats are going to be busy with their convention, but towards the end of the week, boy, I think we're going to get a lot of news. Now, let's talk about President Trump. And President Trump was recently interviewed. In fact, today he was interviewed on Fox, and the president said some things that I thought were pretty interesting. He said the post office, like I said, is losing a fortune. And I'll go over some of the comments from President Trump, and then I'll let you watch the comments for yourself. The president said one of the biggest problems with the post office is Amazon. And he said they come and drop off all their mail into a post office, a big percentage of it, and they say, you deliver it, you stupid people. These are the words from the president. And he said it costs us $3 to $4 to deliver a package, and we are losing a fortune. And he said we have to raise the rates. He did clarify that the rates, the increased rates should be paid for by the companies and not by the consumer. So it's not going to result in an increase in rates to you based on what the president is saying. But he said Amazon always builds a big plant near a post office, and they take a lot of this mail to areas where they could never go because the postal system is massive. And they drop packages into the post office by the thousands. And then, we deliver them, we lose $3 to $4 a package. And he says, I quote, I said, raise the price. This guy is supposed to be so wealthy. I'm presuming he is referring to his best friend in the whole wide world, Jeff Bezos. That was me trying to crack a joke. I'm not sure if I succeeded. So the president said, so raise the price, let him pay for it. Why is the post office paying for delivery for Amazon and in all fairness for other services like that? And so the president said, if we raise the prices for these companies, we fix it quickly. And again, he said, we are losing a fortune on delivering for very wealthy people with very big companies. Let those companies pay, not the purchaser. Let the companies pay. I want to know what you think in the comment section below. But first, let's watch the President of the United States. Let's roll the tape.
And I'll tell you the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems, maybe the biggest problem with the post office is Amazon. Amazon and other companies like it, they come and they drop all their mail into a post office, not all of it, but a big percentage of it. And they say, here, you deliver it, you stupid people, you deliver it. And It costs us every time they drop a package. It costs us like $3 to deliver the package for them, $3 a package. We're losing a fortune. I said, you got to raise the rates. You're going to have to raise the rates. But Amazon, they build their big plant always near a post office. And then they take a lot of this mail into areas where they could never go because the postal system is massive. And they drop packages into the post office by the thousands. And then when I say thousands, for some little place. And they drop them, and then they say, here, you deliver them. And we lose $3 and $4 a package. On average, we lose massive amounts of money. And I said, raise the price. This guy's supposed to be so wealthy, so raise the price. Let him pay for it. Why is the post office paying for delivering for Amazon? And in all fairness, for other services like that.
So we want to make it clear we're not, we love our postal workers, the ones that deliver our mail.
Post office gets 91% approval.
Yeah, exactly. So we appreciate what they do.
It's great from that standpoint, but if they raise the prices to these
business model.
companies,
Exactly.
you'd fix it very quickly. I tell you right now, they're losing a fortune on delivering for very wealthy people with very big companies. Let those companies pay, not the purchaser. Let the companies pay.
So that's it, everybody. That was the president talking about Amazon needing to pay more money to the United States Postal Service because we are losing $3 to $4 a package. And at the end of the day, this is all taxpayer money that has to go to make up these shortfalls because the United States Postal Service has been losing billions and billions of dollars a year. And there is essentially bipartisan agreement that it was mismanaged as a business. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Should big companies like Amazon that actually do work with the United States Postal Service be paying more money for packages to get delivered, which will in turn cut into their profits, which, as we know, are massive? Remember, when Amazon is sending you a package, this is very important. There's something called last mile delivery. So Amazon can get their package from a big warehouse to, let's say, a big sorting facility. But for the package to go from that sorting facility to your home, let's say you live in a remote area, or you live in, you live in a back alley somewhere. For that package to get to you, that's called last mile delivery. That's one of the phrases that can be used for it. And that network is very intricate. That is the hardest part of the delivery system. There have been companies like Uber that have tried to do Uber Eats and stuff like that. The last mile delivery is indeed the most challenging because now you're talking about the postman sort of taking the package, loading it into the truck, driving to a remote location, leaving it outside your door. What President Trump is saying that these companies like Amazon use last mile delivery because they don't want to do it because it's too cumbersome, it's too expensive, and they just want the post office to do it, and then the post office ends up losing money, and that's a gap that needs to be fixed. That is the president's position. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you learned something new, please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications so you get instant updates from us going forward. Also, if you want to get notifications from us, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. You can also get added to our email list and you can opt out at any time. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. I really appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video at ignition time. Thanks. Take care.